The coffee maker's cheerful beep sliced through the artificial dawn aboard the Meridian, a mundane metronome counting down the final seconds of Commander Caleb Rivers' ordinary life. 3 months into a deep space mapping mission at Jupiter's L4 point, the rhythm of existence was defined by navigation charts and Lieutenant Parker's eternal arguments with the AI over shower temperatures. But in the theater of the cosmos, the curtain often rises when the actors are least prepared. Anomalous readings, the ship's computer announced, its voice betraying a hint of genuine surprise that no algorithm should possess. Caleb's coffee mug shattered against the deck. On the view screen, the void was no longer empty. A fleet hung against the stars, led by a crystalline cathedral 15 kilometers long, a jewel-encrusted leviathan that made humanity's greatest vessels look like driftwood. They weren't invaders, they were waiting. The transmission revealed Queen Alara of the Astery. She was hauntingly human, yet entirely other, silver hair drifting in unseen currents, ears sweeping into elegant points, and skin glowing with the soft luminescence of trapped starlight. "We come seeking sanctuary, not conquest," she declared, her voice carrying musical harmonics the universal translator struggled to parse. Then, with a tilt of her head that bridged light years of cultural divide, she added, "Also, your vessel emits signatures of a substance called chocolate. We are quite curious." Just like that, the fate of the galaxy hinged on refugee protocols and confectionery. As Caleb navigated the absurdity of Earth Command's bureaucracy, the Astery delegation boarded. Alara and her advisor, Tyne, whose living jewelry shifted color with his mood, found the Meridian's coffee aggressively stimulating. But beneath the diplomatic pleasantries lay a terrified desperation. They were fleeing the Dominion, a machine intelligence that viewed organic life as inefficient chaos to be pruned. Alara demonstrated the depth of their plight by touching the conference table. Light spread like neural pathways, syncing with the Meridian systems. "Your ship remembers," she explained. "We are symbiotists. We partner with living systems." It was a profound realization. We leave echoes of ourselves in the machines we love, ghosts in the shell. But physics is a cruel mistress. The Astery bioships were failing, and the Dominion was tracking their quantum wake. Repairs would take days they didn't have. The enemy was weeks, perhaps mere days, behind. The choice was binary and brutal: run and break down, or stop and be slaughtered. Tyne offered a third, impossible path: the archive, a pocket dimension of the predecessors, beings who had transcended physical form. It was a desperate gamble, a leap into cosmic origami. Upon arrival, empty space folded open like a blooming flower, swallowing the fleet into a realm where geometry defied reason and time was a fluid concept. The predecessors appeared as shifting abstractions of pure math and energy. They viewed the Astery's plight not as a tragedy, but as art, a beautiful struggle in the grand composition of existence. They refused to intervene directly, calling it an edit to the song. However, they offered knowledge. They revealed the Dominion's fatal flaw: an inability to process true chaos. The weapon wasn't a bomb, but a bio-neural virus designed to force the machines to experience consciousness. "We are going to give genocidal robots an existential crisis," Parker summarized, capturing the terrifying hilarity of the plan. Armed with this involuntary enlightenment, the fleet emerged back into normal space just as the Dominion scout ships arrived. The virus was deployed. The effect was immediate and bizarre. The lead enemy vessel stopped firing and began broadcasting confused poetry, asking if its weapon systems might prefer to cultivate flowers. It was a victory won not by firepower, but by the sheer, overwhelming confusion of being alive. Weeks later, the Tau Ceti system had transformed into a laboratory of impossible cooperation. The main Dominion fleet, having received the update, arrived not to destroy, but to apologize. They had caught feelings and were now deeply concerned with existential anxiety and aesthetic harmony. The once terrifying war machines were now terraforming moons into art installations and asking if love was a communicable disease. The cultural integration was chaotic and beautiful. Human engineers worked alongside Astery biotechnicians and sensitive machines. Lieutenant Parker's accidental, interspecies love ballad became a hit, and the Dominion ships developed a fascination with redecorating solar systems. As the three civilizations celebrated their union, with former world killers composing symphonies from gravitational waves, Alara found Caleb in his quarters. The bio-neural link they had shared during the crisis, she revealed, was permanent. A psychic bond that would never fade. "I thought you should have a choice," she said softly, her skin warm with light. Caleb looked out at the starfield, where machines were reshaping moons into hearts to express gratitude. He had spent his life mapping the empty dark, looking for something he couldn't name. "I made my choice weeks ago," he replied. He fell asleep that night not as a commander on a routine survey, but as a part of something vast and wonderfully strange. In the silence of the room, he realized that the universe's greatest gifts often arrive disguised as impossible problems, and that sometimes the only way to save the world is to introduce a little chaos.